Book of 1 Samuel is a captivating account of the transition of Israel from the era of judges to the establishment of the monarchy. It chronicles the remarkable life of Samuel, the last of the judges, and the rise of Saul as the first king of Israel. This narrative unfolds with intrigue, triumph, and tragedy, revealing profound lessons about faith, leadership, and the consequences of human choices. The story begins with a woman named Hannah, who was barren and deeply distressed. In her anguish, she fervently prayed to the Lord for a son. God heard her prayer and granted her request, and Samuel was born. In gratitude, Hannah dedicated her beloved son to serve the Lord all his days. Through this act of surrender and faith, Samuel grew to become a faithful prophet and judge, faithfully listening to and speaking on behalf of God. Meanwhile, Israel yearned for a king to lead them, desiring to be like the surrounding nations. Despite Samuel's warnings about the potential dangers of having a king, the people persisted in their demand. God granted their request and instructed Samuel to anoint Saul as the chosen king. Saul initially showed promise, but he allowed pride and disobedience to taint his reign. His impatience and failure to follow God's commands led to his downfall, and God rejected him as king. In the midst of Saul's decline, God directed Samuel to anoint a new king from the house of Jesse. Samuel, guided by God's wisdom, found David, the youngest of Jesse's sons, and anointed him as the future king of Israel. David's journey was marked by both triumph and adversity. He famously defeated the giant Goliath, becoming a symbol of courage and faith. However, he also faced trials as Saul relentlessly pursued him out of jealousy. Through it all, David remained steadfast in his faith, seeking God's guidance and protection. He refused to harm Saul, recognizing that it was God's place to remove him from the throne. Eventually, Saul was killed in battle, and David ascended to the throne, becoming a beloved king renowned for his leadership, poetic psalms, and devotion to God. The Book of 1 Samuel offers a profound reflection on the consequences of human choices, the importance of obedience to God's commands, and the power of faith in difficult circumstances. It reminds us that our desires and ambitions must align with God's will and timing. Like Hannah, we can pour out our hearts to God in desperate situations, trusting that He hears our prayers and responds in His perfect way. Through Samuel's life, we learn the significance of faithfully listening to and speaking on behalf of God. His unwavering commitment to the Lord's instructions serves as a model for our own lives, highlighting the value of obedience and surrender. We are reminded that true leadership is rooted in humility, integrity, and reliance on God's guidance. The contrasting stories of Saul and David reveal the profound impact of choices. Saul's disobedience and self-centeredness led to his downfall, emphasizing the importance of aligning our hearts with God's purposes and living a life of humility and obedience. David's unwavering faith, even in the face of adversity, demonstrates the transformative power of trust in God and reliance on His strength. Ultimately, the Book of 1 Samuel teaches us that God is faithful and works through imperfect individuals to accomplish His purposes. It encourages us to seek His guidance, trust His timing, and remain steadfast in our faith even when circumstances seem dire. By learning from the successes and failures of those who came before us, we can navigate the complexities of life with wisdom, grace, and unwavering devotion to God.